Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Can I start straight away
Yes.
or?
No, sir. So we have some protocol.
Mhm.
Some of our faculty will guide you, sir.
With the blessings of Almighty, let us start the fifth day international level virtual FDP. Sometimes challenge and struggles are exactly what we need in our lives. May we welcome every effort, struggle, and challenges. May you open your wings and fly. Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all present today for the session. A special thanks to our chief guest for providing his gracious presence to join us today. Thank you, sir. Now, I'd like to
So,
invite Dr. B. Sheila, ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, PA and EAF, to welcome the gathering.
Good morning to one and all present here. A warm welcome to the fifth day of the 7 days international level virtual faculty development program on the power of positivity approach in teaching and learning system of cultural transformation. The topic for today's session is innovative teaching and learning through the big data approach. The resource person for today's uh, faculty development program is Dr. DHANUSKODI Rengasamy, who's heading the Department of Accounting and Finance and Economics from the Faculty of Business Curtin University, Malaysia. It is fortunate to have you, sir. Welcome, sir.
thank you very much.
I also take this opportunity to welcome the heads of the department and the faculty members of the various other colleges who are eagerly participated in this 7 days faculty development program. I also thank the management and the principal for providing us this opportunity for conducting this activities for the professional development. Thank you, one and all, for this program. Over to Dr. Renuka Devi, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time to give the chief guest introduction. Dr. Dhanushkodi Rengasamy, Head of the Department of Accounting, Finance and Economics, Faculty of Business, Curtin University, Malaysia. Sir completed his UG and PG and B.Ed in Madurai Kamaraj University and his MPhil in Annamalai University. MBA in Finance and CGT in Madurai Kamaraj University and PGDCA in Bardiyar University, and he was awarded PhD degree in Jamaica Missions University. First started his team career as lecturer in CBM College in Cambridge, Department of Commerce. He continued his lecturer in Vidyasagar College for 11 years, and Sir worked as a lecturer in Jimma University in Ethiopia for about 3 years. After that, Sir again continued his service in India in Vidyasagar College of Management in IT, Alamein Institute of Management Studies, Christ University in Bangalore. Sir was a faculty member in Salalah College of Technology in Sultanate of Oman for 2 years. And then, Sir is working in Curtin University in Malaysia. His research interest in the field of accounting, corporate governance, financial statement analysis, performance analysis, and banking. Sir published 14 articles in various national and international journals. Sir has published 3 book chapters and an editorial team member in various publications. Sir attended 26 conference presentations and proceedings in and around India and in international level. So many PhDs and MPhil candidates got awarded under his guidance. He also acted as external examiner for various universities. He is reviewer and editor in various national and international journals. He is an associate member in Indian Accounting Association and associate member in Malaysian Finance and Economic Association. Sir has acted as adjunct professor, guest lecturer, keynote speaker, guest speaker in various webinars and conferences, both in national and international. Sir is awarded as Best Lecturer Award, Outstanding Performance Award, and Teaching Excellence Award. Thank you. So the session is over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity to meet you all. Very good morning to everyone. So here the time is 1:30 in Malaysia. So it's a good afternoon. Once again, thank you very much for the opportunity to share my thoughts related to big data approach in the education sector. Myself, working here in Curtin University for the last 12 years, as well as head of the department. And previously, I had a position of postgraduate program coordinator. I had an opportunity for various teaching and learning purposes, not only exact teaching and also the administration purposes also. So I would like to share a few thoughts related to this big data approach in today's our FDV program. The title of the topic is Innovative Teaching and Learning through the Big Data Approach. First of all, it is required to understand what is the meaning of the term big data. Before we want to know the big data, how the big data concept generated. Earlier, we had a traditional method of teaching and learning. As we know, we are a very good cultured teaching and learning system. In our system, traditionally, it's based on a teacher-centered. That means the students totally depends upon the teacher, what the teacher says or what the teacher assigns. That is the fundamental concept for them. Such a way, the students who accumulate their knowledges, that is a traditional method. But modern method, it's slightly different. As we know, we are come across, there is a learner-centered one. Mainly the teachers also, based on the requirement of the student, we are providing according to their requirement. So in the side of a traditional method, it is a subject specific knowledge, but here subject specific and skill. Yes, here not only we consider the knowledge of the subject, there is not a job. It's traditionally we provide the knowledge to the student, but now we are providing the skills to them. Why we provide the skill? Always I remember a Japanese proverb: instead of giving a fish, teach him how to catch fish. So the same way, modern method of teaching and learning includes the skill development. In the traditional method, mostly it's a one-way transfer of a knowledge. The teacher who talk, the teacher who provide, the students are listening. So there is the one way, but now modern method, it is a multi-way of transfer of knowledge. Not only through the lecturer, there are so many other modern devices, modern sources we are using, as well as it's a double way track. That means the student asking, accordingly the teacher's going to provide. So there is a modern method. Here mainly I want to pointing out multi-way of transfer of knowledge. Yes, here the big data is coming. Multi-way of transfer of knowledge in the sense the knowledge shared to the students by through different mode or different method. Later I am going to connect. So the multi-way of transfer with the big data process. In traditional method of teaching and learning is a passive and limited, but modern method, it's mostly interactive and also engaging system. Nowadays, we are not going to simply give a lecture. We expect interacting. In most of the foreign universities are restricted the teaching hours. They make it into a consultation or tutoring. For example, in my university, the lecturing is for 1.5 hours. During the time of the lecturing, we are going to provide the key concepts to them. During the time of a tutorial or during the time of workshop, it is totally two-way communication. What we discussed during the time of the lecture. So mostly the modern method of teaching, what we are currently following, there is interactive and engaging method. Teaching and the traditional method, it's a theoretical based. Mainly the theoretical concepts we provided to them traditionally. But now we have to provide conceptual and practical. It is not possible, it is not sufficient to provide simply the theoretical information to the student. We have to provide the practical, conceptual. That's why nowadays you see more number of research is insisted. Why research? We are going to apply the theoretical concept into the practical field or practical world. That's why we are introducing industrial visit and also industry expo. Last point, traditional method work individually, but in the case of modern method work together. Most of the people know from this group of people who are participating here. In my time, nearly 25 years, 30 years before, if you see the advertisement, very specifically they mentioned that word were able to work independently. But now we are advertising, we are not using that word work independently. You are able to work together. So here our expectation is totally changed now. We are going to work together, collaborative research, collaborative teaching, group research, group research supervision, all these things work together, right? So here from this slide, what we understand, traditional method and modern method. Here, why I used this slide, later I'm going to discuss with you big data approach. Big data approach falls under modern method. Big data approach is falls under modern method. So in the traditional method, we are not going to use big data. But one thing I want to tell you, at this moment, what we are doing in our own organization, we are applying a modern method. So therefore, it is important we have to use the big data for our teaching and learning purposes. Right. Now, we move on to the next slide. Okay, so the teaching method. Sir, teaching method, we are not able to define. For example, my college or my university is affiliated with a particular organization, particular university. For example, you can take a Hindustan college, it's affiliated with the Bharatiyar University. In this case, the curriculum, it is not by Hindustan college, by the university, if in the case not an autonomous. Okay, so teaching method is decided by various factors. Number one, educational philosophy. What is your organization's philosophy? That is very important to decide what teaching method you are going to use. Classroom demographic. So how you are going to provide the demographic in your classroom? So no, I'm not going to provide a demographic. That means the demographic in the sense how the environmental or the arrangement in the classroom, subject area, and also institutional mission statement. That is also very important. Some institutions are very strictly to implement the technology, or they don't want to use the technology. It is also one of the factor to decide your teaching method. Okay, so what are the different teaching method associated with the big data? High tech teacher centered, low tech teacher centered. What you are, you can see your organization base. Are you using a high tech teacher center, or low tech teacher center? We are using the PowerPoint presentation, or we are using a collaborative mode of teaching, or online. What are the techniques we are using? Depends upon you decide what you are. High tech student centered. Okay, after the COVID, one of the advantage in the teaching and learning area, nowadays the students who come up with iPad, come up with a notepad, so laptop in the classroom, so they are already accustomed with modern technology, with the technological method of acquiring a knowledge. So in this case, the students, what about your student? High tech student, or your student a low tech student? Okay, so this is the teaching method. Again, I come to one important point here. If you are high tech teacher center, Your students are high-tech student center, then you can use a big data for the purpose of teaching and learning. Still, in my institution is not a high-tech teaching facility in this over here. Right. Now we go into the main aspect, big data. Okay. So nowadays, this terminology is often among the educators. Not only the educators, in every level, the usage of the term big data is often in the banking sector, marketing, industry, education sector, everywhere we are using the terminology big data. So what do you mean by big data? First of all, we must understand big data clearly, then it is easy for application into our teaching and learning system. Right. Big is a wide term. It covers many aspects. But anyway, we can big data. Right. Big data refers to massive amounts of data. Yes. Big data, the name itself very clear. Big is a massive data, massive amounts of data. Yes,
Sir,
please. Yeah. Can you hear?
so this is Anika.
Hello. Yeah,
Sir,
please.
the slides are not presented, sir.
Uh-huh. Okay. Can you see the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So, right. Um, yeah. Big data refers to massive
Sir,
amount.
the slides are not moved. The slides are not changing.
Still, your it's
The first slide is alone is there, presented over there.
oh. Can you see now?
We can see the slide, sir, but it's not changing. It's actually presented. It's not a slideshow.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not able to make it into the presentation slideshow because I'm using two monitors with the same system.
Okay, sir.
But can you see the slides?
Yes, sir, but it's not visible. We can see
Okay.
the heading alone. That slide is alone. It is visible.
Okay. So, but you are not able to. It's not a readable. Huh?
No,
Can
sir, it is not visible.
Sir, we are
okay.
able to see only the first slide, sir.
Okay. Right. Okay. Just a minute. Just a second, please.
Sir, can you send the slides
Uh-huh. Okay. So,
so that we can present?
yeah. Okay. So I can send it to you by email now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please check your email.
Yes, sir. So which mail, sir?
There is yesterday you sent that Google link.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
Pro
sir.
is
I have received.
yeah Pro. Okay.
I'll present it, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Please. Go to fourth slide, slide number 4. Are you working on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. Right. Uh, the next slide, please. Okay. Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. Just now we discussed about big data. What is a big data? Big data is a massive amounts of data. It can be produced by various sources. It's a social media platform or web logs. Nowadays, the people who create the logs, web logs, their own page, sensors, wherever you observe, Internet of Things, and also various devices and many more. There is big data. So big data is a massive amount of data produced by any sources that is called as a big data. The big data is classified into three categories. Structured big data, structured in the sense the data provided in a proper order, that is a database management system. For example, the annual reports, or take an example of our educational institution. In our website, we provided the course details, the staff members details, database management system. So there is a big data. It's a structured big data. The semi-structured big data is in another format. There is an extensible markup language. So you can modify according to our requirements. Unstructured, certain things are the data, big data available. It is unstructured. That means it's in the audio or video form or any images, or we can categorize as a unstructured big data. Okay. Further, we can see a few more meaning of the term big data. Just I want to mention the highlighted one because I want to go into the important aspect of application of big data into our teaching and learning. It's a more volume of data. We use some technology or a technique or the people using the skill. We are processing, analyzing this large data into a simplified, timely way. Yes. So all data available, that data are make it into simplified way. I want to give one example in the part in the example in the way of marketing. See, where you are going to some mall, you are registering your name over there, so automatically it goes into the database. Okay, see here, suppose if they want the data related to 30 years to 50 years range, we can extract the data according to our convenient and timely basis. So there is a big data, I mean volume of data. Big data is a state of the art technique. Yes, big data is an art. Why we say it is an art? There is no any strict rules. There is no any what is it called formula. There is no any equation. So state of the art, big data, collect, allocate, accomplish and discover huge data sets. Okay. The last aspect of the meaning of the term big data is enormous volumes of deliberately outsourced data. Yes, this big data is not your own data. Some data are your own data, but many data are outsourced data. Enormous volumes of the outsourced data used for the purpose of our decision making, for the purpose of our teaching and learning purpose. There is a big data. Go to next slide, please. Right. Okay. So here the characteristics of big data. Big data is a volume. Number one, it's a volume. Yes, massive size big data. It has some value, usefulness. But if you see the big data in your overall view, it is not benefitable immediately, but you are going to apply some technique and you are going to make use for your purposes. So big data, the second characteristics is the usefulness. The third one that is called veracity, that means authenticity. Yes, the big data are authenticated data. You can use it for your purposes, right? Here one important point: if it is unstructured big data, maybe not having data is a picturizing. Already I told you, audio, video, pictures also come under big data category. And variety, yes, big data consists of a variety of information, varied information. For example, students admission details, students program course selection detail, students attendance, students result, the university details. See, all these things are variety of information, faculty details, right? Velocity is a big data is always updating. It's not a historical data. Okay. Viscosity, it is called resistance. Resistance in the sense it's going to support for your analysis. Okay. And virality, that is convey the pasted information. Yes, what information you have used in your purposes, that one is going to provide the benefit for you, right? So this is the characteristics of big data. Now we move on to the next slide. Okay, so here we come to big data, how we are going to use for our education purpose, our education sector, Okay, so here those who are participating in this EFT faculty development program, so we are in the education sector, how we are going to use this big data for our education sector. Okay, so nowadays the education institutions are using the big data for the purpose of decision making. Sir, what decision making? Yes, we are going to take any decision based on the big data. Suppose if you are taking the big data related to the students' admission, based on that you are going to get how many of them are male or female, whatever. Suppose you need male students or you want a female student, so you can extract from the big data. So therefore, nowadays the big data is helpful for us to take a decision making in our educational sector. I'm giving a simple example, this one. Later we are going to see the detailed examples. Okay, nowadays the universities have a large amount of data. Yes, of course, because universities, they have so many activities, so they have plenty of data: students registration, student admission, course outline, assessment, result, and also etc., examination, etc. Okay, enhance the workflow of the education institution. Big data is important. Yes, workflow is going on smooth. You need big data. Nowadays, you can see in our Bardar University, I have an experience of adjudicating the PhD thesis, more than 100 theses currently. So here, the online system. So you see, once you receive synopsis, it's coming to that system. So then after you adjudicate it, it goes to next stage. So the enhance the workflow of the educational institution, the big data is important. That's why the educational institution started using big data. Okay, all right. And big data is a rapid advances of innovative technologies. Ubiquitous means timely, on time. Pervasive computing, currently, smart devices, online courses, social media, all these things are reshaping the mode of our accessibility of teaching and learning and assessment. Yes, it's make a very big change on teaching and learning sector. Okay, big data can be mapped to higher institutional data. Yes, big data, higher institutional data are mapped. So now we are going to use for our purposes by the learner or tutors or department or the faculty or as a whole the institution. Okay, so big data, no doubt at all, nowadays all the educational institution started using big data. Okay, now we go on to the next slide. All right, so what are the innovative big teaching and learning through big data approach? The big data approach consists of two things. One is called big data analytics and another one that is called big data technology. Okay, so what do you mean by big data analytics and big data technology? In a very simple way, we can say we make use of the big data for the purpose of our decision making. Make use of the big data, that is a big data analytics. For the acquiring of big data, for the processing of the big data, you need technology. That is called big data technology. So I'm going to explain this two way how we are using the big data for our innovative and teaching and learning purposes. Okay, now we will see one by one. The first slide, the next slide, please. Big data analytics, BDA, right? Okay, so here this is one of the innovation. What do you mean by big data analytics? Okay, so we have a big data. Already I told you we have a big data. That big data are processing the vast amount of data by mathematically or statistically or using a modeling or any program or computing algorithms or any technique, you are going to make it into actionable value. That is called big data analytics. See, big data, the student, for example, the students' details. Okay, we have a big data, students' details. That big data, when it's become big data analytics, you are going to make use of this data by applying mathematics, statistics, modeling, programming, or computing, or any technique. You are going to extract that information for your usable format, that is called big data analytics. Yes, nowadays we are using the big data for our decision making. We are using for our decision making. How? We will see. Big data analytics refers use of advanced data analytics technique. Yes, we are going to use some technique to discover the pattern and meaningful use of information. So big data is always available. For example, in the social media, in WhatsApp group, it's a big data. Facebook, it's a big data. But the big data, we are going to apply the technology and use of format that is called big data analytics. Okay. For example, under student behavior in order to optimize the student experience. Okay. So we are going to understand the student behavior. Why? We want to understand the student behavior through Facebook or through some data. We are going to understand their behavior for the purpose of optimizing the students' experience. We are going to provide a good experience to them, right? So that is called the big data analytics. Go on to the next slide. Big data analytics is further classified into two aspects. It's called academic analytics and learning analytics. Okay, learning analytics. Right. Just we can read big data is a massive data. That massive data we use some mathematics, statistics to for usable format. That is called big data analytics. That big data analytics we are going to use for academic and learning. If you are using for academic, there is academic analytics. You are going to use for the purpose of learning, that is called learning analytics. Go on to the next slide. All right. Just for our, because it's how it flows from big data and okay. So academic analytics, the data analysis or mining with the objective of making better. Okay. So you are by analytics or for the purpose of, that is called academic analytics. We are going to use the tool or mathematics purpose of our teaching and learning analytics. Okay, all right. Here it's a combination of institutional data and arithmetic analysis for create intelligence with which a student or instructors, administrator for the purpose of academic pattern of its institution. Mainly, you have to consider what is the academic pattern of your institution is very important. Okay, all right. Now, this academic analytics, where we are going to use academic analytics. Okay, academic analytics is nothing but the big data mathematically used for operational purpose. That is called academic analytics. Okay, where to apply the institutional student profile are benefited. Students enrollment is academic analytics. Academic analytics because it's an operation. The big data is mathematically used for academic purpose. Student enrollment, big data, academic profile, alumni detail, research profile, student result. Who is going to use all these things? Students, they are using. tutors, faculty, college, university management or college management. Okay, so now this slide is very clear. You are going to use that mathematically the big data for the purpose of your operation. Then it is called academic analytics. Now we move on to the next slide. Right. Okay. So now I'm going to give you lot of examples. I'm not going to provide much conceptual information because we want to, it's a new concept. Directly we want to apply into our day-to-day operation. Okay. Right. Academic analytics. Already I told you academic analytics, the big data mathematically, statistically better and manage size and admission pattern of new students to be enrolled. So this is who is going to use this one? Office admission and the administrative unit. They are going to use for the what purpose? Student admission purpose. Now you see here academic analytics, practical student admission purpose we are using. Okay, right. Second example, I'm going to give you a big data. Big data is a new trend. What is the new trend? Okay, analytics, you are applying analytics model and data mining using this new trend. Is a new trend, it's a big data. With the help of this new trend, you are going to predict the betterment of the institution. How we are going to make a betterment of our organization based on the new trend. Yes, for example, nowadays in the educational institute, you have to see the outside, the big data. Many educational institutions, they are using, for example, assessments through some software, assessments through some external portal. For example, in my unit, we are using the assessment by Wiley Plus. Right now, the educational institutions has to see what is the new trend available in the outside. It's a big data. They have to use for the purpose of betterment of the institution. So this is the institution progress. Next slide, also having some example. You can see the third example. Big data is an alumni data. Yes, every institution, we have a alumni data. Yes, we have. Okay, this data, you are going to statistically, you are going to do analysis. Okay, what purpose you are going to do this one? Yes, we are going to find out the graduate employability. Graduate employability in the sense, okay, our alumni, how many of them got the job? Okay, so this is alumni employment. This is the outcome of our big data analytics, academic analytics. Okay, I hope you understand how the big data, who using this big data and what is the ultimate purpose of this big data. Okay, right, academic analytics, right, employer requirement. Okay, now the big data that is related to employer requirement. Employer, what they are required, what employer required. Okay, this is a big data. This data you are going to use for your operation. That is called academic analytics. Skill required by the student for doing employment. Yes, now we are going to provide to the students. See, this is the employer requirement. Please, you have to develop your qualification, or you can develop your so big data to for purpose of our purpose. Okay, we can go for the next slide. Number 5. Yeah. Okay. So here the big data is exam grade pro. We are going to analyze statistically. Analyze what we are going to find out the behavior, purpose of student. Okay. Okay. What question they skip? What attended? What question are interested? Are the performance of the student from the big data through academic analytics. It's a benefit to the student. Another example, statistical analysis of individual grades. It's a big data, individual grade. What is the tool you are going to use? Statistics. Who is going to use academic unit? Okay. So here, what is the end result? Students' area of interest and they develop. This is called academic analytics. The last slide related to academic analytics. Please move on to the next slide. Yeah. Here, yeah, next slide, please. Okay, all right. Okay, so the big data, we are going to use the finance details, strategy of the organization, all these things we are collecting. It's a big data. Can you see the slide in a big view?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, right. Okay, right. So, going to big data analytics by learning analytics. Okay, so here earlier I mentioned that big data analytics is classified into two, academic and another one learning. So under the learning analytics, it's related to addressing teaching and operation. This is addressing teaching and learning goals. It's going to provide, improve the performance of the students and teaching of teachers. Okay, so here in the learning analytics, we are going to use the big data using some technology for the purpose of addressing teaching and learning goals. Okay, here where we are going to use this one, student recruitment. See, this is not a performance of the student, grading system, customized program. We are going to modify the program, reduce dropouts. This is thing come under learning analytics. Who of them are using this one? Student, tutors, and faculty, administrator, stakeholders are using this one. Okay. Now we can go for example. Okay. Then it is very easy for us to understand the concept. Okay. Here, the big data is a grades and attention span. Okay. Okay. All right. Here, grades is a big data. With the help of the grade, we are going to use for the purpose of the development of the education. So that is called the learning analytics. Yes. We are going to formulate a program. It is called as a customized program. For example, in Stanford University, one of the professors, Andrew, he introduced one program, customized program, that is machine learning. 400 students join over there. Later, students join over there. So this is called as a learning analytics. Okay. Another example, students' performance is a big data. We are going to use a predictive analysis. Good. Predictive analysis. We are going to use this big data for the purpose of our educational system. Right. For example, we are going to use the students' performance. Based on this, we are going to find out dropout. So this is decision making with the help of the big data for the purpose of overall operation. It is called learning analytics. Okay, right. The next, another example. Okay, right. Here, what is the big data? Records of academic. Okay. Records of academic includes their fitness program, their social activities, their service activities are big data. Okay. This big data, we are going to make use of any analysis, right? We are going to make use of the system, the students' healthy mental system. We are going to use this big data. This is called learning analytics for the benefit of the student. The next example, student profile is a big data, predictive analysis for the purpose of award student scholarship. Based on the student profile, we are going to see how many of them family income is less than certain level. Accordingly, we are going to provide a scholarship, or we are going to see the student's profile. Okay, what is the score he secured in the higher education or higher secondary education? Accordingly, we are going to provide the scholarship. So there is also come under learning analytics. Okay, another part of learning analytics, the big data is a dashboard is a big data. Dashboard is nothing but in our website or in the main place what the data available. You are going to analyze this dashboard data for the purpose of tracking student performance. In the dashboard, the student's result, what are the unit he enrolled, the details. Now, big data used for big data analytics operational. Big data used for the purpose of big data technology purpose, overall organizational purpose. Okay. To see the another aspect, that is sorry, we discussed about two things, is academic and learning. Now we are going to see big data technology. Okay, right. So the big data technology is required for the purpose of big data analytics. Okay, so what is the big data? What do you mean by big data technology? Okay, so big data technology is a software utility that is designed to analyze. Yeah, so we have some software or we have some program, that is a technology used for the purpose of analysis, for the purpose of process, for the purpose of extraction. Here I want to give you one example. In my previous university, the students attendance is not by manual record register. So they are going to use the biometric attendance. Okay, all data are accumulated into one pool. We are going to use one particular software. That software extract the data according to your requirement. For example, I need the data for BCom, accounting and finance students. I can extract. So here, what software you are using, that is called as a big data technology. Big data technology. Okay, right. Another technology, not we are going to use some method that is called a big data technology. Okay, now you can see here, right, big data technology, it's having two things: operational big data technology and analytical big data technology. Okay, what do you mean by operational big data technology? Is a software or any tool. Okay, operational big data technology is about your normal day operation, normal day-to-day data. For example, online ticket booking or online shopping or social media or visiting any organization's website. So this is a technology or big data technology operational purpose. Okay, some big data technology, those big data technologies are not by normal operation. You have to do something on that, or it's going to do some process on that. For example, analytics big data is like the advanced version of big data technology. So what is the advanced technology of a big data technology? For example, stock market. See, it is not like an online ticket booking. It's a stock market. It's going to analyze the current situation of the market, and also it's going to provide the price changes and everything. So it's an advanced technology you are using for the purpose of big data analytics. Okay, so here stock market, space missions. Space missions is not a normal operational technology. Weather forecast and medical related or analytical big data technology. Okay, so big data technology, operational big data technology, analytical big data technology. Example, you are admitting the student. Here there is an online application form. It's an operational data technology. Um, the details about the programs in the programs also operational, but you want to see some changes happening on the data of the students. For example, some teaching conferences, some one you want to access to some advanced analytical technology we want to use. Okay, right. Now we have two important aspects we discussed: big data analytics, big data technology. Now we can go for the I'm going to give you some details for your further discussion or further understanding. Okay, so big data technologies. What are the big data technologies available? Just you can see, data storing purpose. We have a lot of technologies that is called Hadoop, store and analyze data, Mongo, Rainstorm, like data mining, Presto, Rabbit, there is Kafka, Splunk, Clean are the technologies, some emerging technologies in the big data technology. That is called TensorFlow, Beam, Docker, Airflow. Just you can research on this one for your further understanding. Okay, now what are the of what do you mean by big data analytics? There is a big data analytics by academic, big data analytics for learning. Okay, what are the advantages? Number one, it's improve the success of the student. If you are using this big data for the purpose of our learning, teaching and learning, success of the student, improve the quality of teaching. Our teaching quality also going to improve, ease of learning process. Now the learning process is very easy, smoothen, promote awareness, parent also one of the important stakeholder of our organization. Right here, integral component of educating system. Nowadays, yes, we are not having any excuse. Nowadays we are going to use teaching and learning purposes. Okay, so that's integral part, right? The last aspect, that is challenges of implementing big data into our teaching and learning process. Yes, definitely. If you are implementing any new technology, we have some issues. Number one, big data analytics volume. It is a very big volume. Therefore, it is practically difficult to manage this data. Okay. There are some noise. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. So the challenges of implementation of big data, there are some challenges. Number one, big data is a massive data, voluminous data. That is one of the challenge. How you are going to deal this voluminous one. Storage, it's very difficult. It's not in a normal capacity. It's a huge amount you need. And analysis, yes. The big data available, but how you are going to analyze is a challenge. Simply, we are not able to use the big data, right? And the quality of the data. Sometimes unstructured big data. Unstructured big data, you are going to make use of the unstructured big data. The quality of your decision is questionable. All right. Time consuming. Yes. Big data is a plenty. You are going to extract, you are going to apply some software, you are going to apply some statistical tool or mathematical technique to extract, time consuming. Actually, some are the data by data expensive, intensively big data usage. It's a technology oriented. So therefore, we need the technological skill. Okay. See, it is not necessary to learn software or nothing. Very normal way. For example, I give you a very simple example. When I was working in Christ University in Bangalore, they introduced a technique for class. We are going to upload the attendance into the particular software. So once we uploaded, retract the details, there is no need for high level of technology is not required. Only the basic technological skill, that's enough. Okay, right. So here, big data in the case of big data technology, what are the challenges? Security, only for the required purposes. You must have some ethics. Nowadays, you see sometimes you are receiving an email. So many email about the company's, the promotion of the product of the company. How it's coming? Because we are given our email IDs to somewhere. So it's not ethical, and lack of skill. If a very good skilled person of dealing the technology, not able to make use of big data. Data processing and storage, yes, the processing and storage is also a challenge for, right? So here I have completed the big data. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is the details from my side, how to make use of the big data for the purpose of our teaching and learning. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, please you can ask. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Participants, there any queries? If you want to ask any question, you can ask. sir. Examination participants.
I hope there is no any questions from the participant side.
Shall we conclude, sir?
Okay.
Shall we conclude, sir?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart with thanks. Thanksgiving is the memory of the heart. Now it's time to prepare the vote of thanks. First of all, I take immense pleasure in thanking our today's speaker, Dr. Dhanuskodi Rengasamy sir, for sharing his views and thoughts on the topic, innovative teaching and learning through the big data approach. Sir, your views on big data characteristics, big data analytics, used in students' in programs, and the benefits of data analytics. Your views on big data analytics is different for the organization, industry, wonderful technology. Was an eye-opener to this today's scenario. Thank you, sir. Wonderful session. Sir, I'd like to head of the commerce team and Dr. Ma'am Department of PA for arranging the 7 days international level virtual DP. All in and committed other all the participants and overseas participants for their active participation in this international level virtual faculty development program. I thank all the faculty members of the Department of Commerce PA and AF for their technical help also. Once again, I thank you all for participating in this international virtual FTP. I request all the participants to join on Monday's FDP session at 11 a.m. sharply. I kindly request all to subscribe our YouTube channel also. Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now I'm leaving from the meeting hall. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.